don't know about you guys, but I am quite angry about the Vanessa deal. To me, it is plainly clear that Aaron was a patsy, that all he did was take the body out and take care of it for the person who really killed her, which is the white, older sergeant who was obsessed with her. All Aaron did was do what he was told, which was take the body of Vanessa out of where it was stowed. She was killed in the parking lot, strangled by this man. And then he told Aaron to take it to a spot and burn it, do whatever he needed to do. And he got him concrete or whatever he needed. And this Cecily really just was after the fact type thing. It's wrong. It's horribly wrong. And the fact that the army is saying that they'll never forget Vanessa and that they actually care is the biggest lie ever told, because they know the sergeant, the white sergeant, is the one who killed her, not Aaron. And they're letting him take the fall for it. He did not shoot himself. He was running away and they shot him in the head. That's what happened. He was gunned down. He was a scapegoat. And no one can tell me otherwise. There's only one way this scenario went, and it's obvious what it is. Aaron had no reason to have anything against Vanessa, and in fact, he was from a different regiment. They didn't even know each other. They didn't get in an argument. He didn't hit her with a hammer. Nothing like that happened. I'm so upset that I can't do anything except for this video. I'm just gonna keep doing this video over and over again and keep telling the same story, because that's all I can do. I want people to understand that Vanessa was killed by someone who was obsessed with her, not Aaron, but her sergeant, the very scary one who wanted to touch her and do things to her. Aaron had no desire to be with Vanessa or to have anything to do with her. This is just wrong. So I don't know what's going to get Cecily singing. Probably what's going to happen is the army is going to pay for her defense and all this other. But the thing about it is this, and they'll pay her off later. I wasn't one of those people that believed in conspiracy theories and that the army's really evil and that they're gonna do these things to make sure the American public doesn't know what they're really doing, and they do experiments on people and stuff. I never believed that, but I know for a fact that they're covering up right now and lying through their teeth in a way that's really disrespectful and gross. So it must be true. It must be true that our government, in every shape, facet, and form, is against us in a way that is unfathomable. All Vanessa was to them was I won't say the word, a blank woman a blank girl who got in the way and made a problem for them. When in actuality, the sergeant is the problem and he should be court-martialed, instead of putting it on this other boy who, by the way, is black. And it's just wrong. So they calculated this to as well as they could. But now, I want to show you guys once again. I know that I'm biased now. But this is insane. nothing else happened except for the sergeant wanted to be with her. He went to her in the parking lot by the car. She screamed. He suffocated her and choked her so that she wouldn't say anything. And that's all that happened. Instead, we get this whole blown up problem, which is a pack of lies. So the Empress would be Vanessa and also her sisters and mom. The 7 of Coins would be the army and the sergeant. And poor Aaron was put in it. And the 4 of Wands is the army celebrating now that they think they got away with it. This is just horrible. The Wheel of Fortune, the 5 of Swords, the Knight of Coins, and the Pope. So here we have what could have, should have happened. Bad stuff. The dutiful one with the shovel, Aaron, and the Pope, the high up. The persons who know what's going on in this. I'm so angry, I'm shaking. It's making me so mad. If anybody else is mad, let me know, because to me it is the worst, most evil, most easily seen cover-up in the face of, in the last 10 years or more. Did you guys know that Fort Hood had a psychiatrist that was there for 10 to 15 years who killed 14 people in a shootout, and that was covered up? Did you guys know that? Did you know that there were 12 or so tanker people inside of a tank doing drills, and they were told to go over this river and they weren't really supposed to because it was too high, and they all drowned except for one person? That was covered up. There's been a lot more disappearances than AWOLs in the last 15 years, and now this happens. It's just horribly wrong. Now, who knows what happened to Gregory and also the Rosecrans kid. I think his name's Brandon. Those kids are also messed up in this. But this is about Vanessa. Okay, so the King of Wands and the 9 of Cups. This is saying that they had made something around this man, this sergeant, and that it's like a barrier type thing. So he's pretty much satisfied with how the army's taking care of him. I don't know why they love him so much. Let's see if we can find out. But if you remember in my 2 other readings about Vanessa, it says that she will get justice, but that man, that sergeant, will not be brought to justice. He will die alone, sad, and sick, very ill, and hating his life, but he will not go to jail. He will not be found out. And this whole Aaron thing is totally fake. So Ace of Cups, Star, Ace of Coins, 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords, Page of Coins, 10 of Wands. The Burden, the Acolyte of Growth, the person who thinks they have to do what they're told, the innocent creation of love, the hopeful virgin, the idea that had taken root and starting over. So nothing here is any surprise. I think that all we need to know from this is how she saw herself. This is how Vanessa saw herself. She was starting in this beautiful way, in a way that she felt good about herself. She was in charge of things. She was taking charge of her life. She was in the army, which is what she always wanted to do. Until this horrible burden came, this man who had tons of passion of sex and decided to hurt her in many ways, and the main way was sexually. It made her afraid to go to work, and it ruined everything about her day. It ruined how she felt about herself and her career. And he's going to do it again. He's done it before. He's a bad man. Six of Wands. So yeah. So as you can see, I'm reading these cards literally because obviously I already believe a certain narrative about this, but I just wanted to show you that without stacked cards, just with shuffled cards and not knowing, this is what's coming up again, is him. Aaron is not that. He's just like a person who is too young to even understand what he wants to do in life per se. He wanted to be in the army. He wanted to serve his country in certain ways, but he was a little bit lost in his personal life. And this man took advantage of him, and now he's dead. Her boyfriend is the only one who knows the truth. He's the only one who believes the truth. Everyone else is deluded about it. Everyone else has a poverty of feeling and knowledge about it, but her boyfriend, I'm saying that's her as the crow. I don't know why, but they maybe were hatching a plan of how to fix it, because she didn't want her mom to get involved. She knew that she couldn't tell anybody that was superior because they would be on his side. So I hope that her boyfriend is able to get over this or cause some kind of thing to happen that he wants to happen. But the devil is here. This man, this sergeant, is a very, very evil man. Do you guys notice that they didn't say his name and they refused to say his name? They won't say who the last person saw with her was, because it's this sergeant, and they're covering up for him. What's probably going on here, I'm pretty sure, is this is saying that they did have a plan, and that he did find out that the way she was acting, she wasn't going to give in to him anymore. She wasn't going to be afraid, and he knew he wasn't going to be able to get his ultimate prize that he wanted. He became enraged at that. He was so angry he couldn't get what he wanted. And it seems like, these people don't really exist in our life today. Why would anyone have that much feeling, intensity, whatever? But when you're in a pressure cooker of a giant, giant base like Fort Hood, and you're also bound and determined to get something you want, and you have a bad, evil bent about you, you're going to go the bad way 9 times out of 10. And he saw her as a prey, as a prize. Yeah, he didn't want to let go of what he thought about himself, which was that he could get what he wanted at all times. And she was pretty much, she knew that she was up against a whole lot of BS, but she knew that she was going to at least try to fight and tell people what really is going on with this man. And he finally figured out he wasn't going to win. And pretty much he decided to silence her, silence the truth. You know, he regrets the intensity and the bad thing of what he did, but he doesn't really regret hurting her per se. It's more like he can't believe he got that out of control. And his fire and intensity for her is still there, unrequited. And his emperor is on his side. I don't know if they're gay together, they're probably not, but this is saying that they're very simpatico. And his higher up has a way to cover up all this, because he's the magician, obviously. Oh, and childhood. See, here she is again. Her innocence was lost. She regrets what happened to her, obviously. Look at her. Look at Vanessa. She's looking to us now for hope. Maybe there's some way we can help. If Fort Hood at least gets shut down for some reason and things get changed, it'll be better for everybody. And the Me Too and I Am Vanessa Guillen movement could help. But these people, the devil, the emperor, and the magician, they really, really have ultimate power. They're like omnipotent at their place of work. It's frightening. Because of what they have done, chaos has ensued now. They have opened a can of worms and they shut it, they think. But you can't tell a family, you can't tell a true crime family now that it's okay that someone died and it was covered up. That it's okay that someone was a scapegoat and he was killed. And we want to make sure we give them sleepless nights. That they see the reflection of death and that they know they did something wrong. That they should be frightened and scared, not congratulating themselves. And this is saying they're going to be offering bribes to many people, including Cecily as number one. They know they can't deal with Gloria, Vanessa's mom. I think it's pretty crazy they put a woman in this just to make it more kosher for the ladies involved. That's just even more evil. And this woman, no offense, but she hasn't led a very good life, and she's what you would call a person of low, like she's just kind of trashy, I guess you could say. I'm sure she was actually bettering her life at that point, but now she's pretty much, she isn't a snitch, but she's a person who is playing a role for the army now. The blood. She was with the Knight of Swords. She kind of became an extension. And then of course we see she's going to embark on some kind of weird journey, either in custody, protective custody, in a jail, who knows exactly what, but her life isn't going to be the same anymore. But she knows that she's going to be rewarded. I promise you, I will stake my life on this reading. I know that's kind of intense and weird, but I 100% know what happened to Vanessa. There's no way that I'm wrong about it. And the cards over and over and over again has said the same thing. And look at this. This is the end part. This is the part that makes me the most mad. They are saying something behind their back. They're crossing their fingers because they're lying. They think they're pulling the wool over our eyes. And it's really disgusting when people in power, especially people in the government, hurt those below them as far as power is concerned. Because we are equal to them in every way. They decided to go for power in the world instead of for love or whatever. That was like their main goal, was these higher ups. And we shouldn't be punished because we didn't choose what they did. In fact, they have gone on their own way for so long that now they think it's all right to lie, cheat, steal, bribe, and kill just to have what they want, which is the people they want around them to protect their power. If we think about the military as a microcosm of the whole government, it's just more like a more intense field. It means that there has been stuff like this going on in our government as well. And I bet you this, if Vanessa had become a aide to somebody at DC instead of doing the military route, actually her family's, Gloria's voice would have been silenced. She wouldn't have even got as much as she got now. Don't forget, you guys, they didn't answer any questions. They wouldn't say the sergeant's name. And they wouldn't say anything about where bullets were. It's wrong. Very wrong. I haven't heard anyone else say this, but I don't understand because it's totally obvious what has happened. We can't forget him. The sergeant's boss is just as evil. Vanessa's still just as good. And the plan is really, really there. It's a real plan. It's not a fake plan. Which led to murder. Death. And the poor boyfriend being alone. And her family being alone. It's completed now because they can't be together. So remember this. Remember this card. I'm going to get all the cards that are important here. The ones that mean a lot. Because I want everyone to remember and never forget what has happened here. So this is Vanessa in the beginning. There she is. Here's the devil and the emperor. The bribe and the cover-up cut. The lie. Chaos. Her as an empress, him as a pope, another lie, and death. So please, 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 please remember that what is happening here makes total sense, and everyone should understand what Vanessa has gone through is not being reported correctly, and that Aaron did not kill her, that Cecily did not kill her. It was her sergeant who wanted to have sex with her and make her pay for being a Hispanic female soldier. It bothered him to no end that she was doing well, and she was happy. He saw her as an object, and he wanted to subjugate her. When he found out he could not, he took into his own hands her life and killed her. And then had his underling, or asked for help, and then an underling was selected, namely Aaron, to go dispose of the body. And the bribe was suggested, knowing all the time they were going to shoot him. The MP was going to shoot him. It's just horrible. So this has been TBS. I hope you guys really do understand that there's no other way to look at this. That if you believe that Cecily and Aaron were in charge of this, you're completely in the dark. I'll see you next time.